Hi everyone, so welcome to our results announcement for today. We've got all the candidates with us at the moment, but before obviously I go on to announce the results, I'm gonna hand over to the CEO of Students' Union, Andy Fitzpatrick, who's gonna give us the opening speech. So over to you, Andy.
Thanks, Zane. Welcome everyone to the first ever 100% virtual 2021 UBU elections. Under strange circumstances, it was a bit weird last year when we did the elections just as COVID was starting, but don't think we've ever been in this situation again, hopefully. But I just want to say a massive thank you to all the candidates. Win or lose today, to me, you are all heroes. A lot of people think about running for these roles, but they don't want to put themselves up there to go through what you guys have been through. I was there at the general meeting, and I know you've done assemblies and other hustings. I was very impressed with every candidate. It's a shame that we can't offer places to everyone. I thought the standard this year was really good. I think everybody's sort of realizes that the roles in the Students' Union is a great experience, and I could see the keenness for wanting to work for us. So that makes me and my team very, very proud. I'd really like to say a few words about the election team. Once again, thanks for running the first virtual 100% election. I think getting over, 1,600 votes is an absolute amazing. I've been told that's way above the sector average. So to do that with hardly any students on campus and candidates looking for votes online or wherever they've been able to get votes is an absolutely an amazing triumph for me. So that is fantastic for the election team. Just want to say a big, massive thank you. And finally, just before I let everyone get on with proceedings, I just want to say a quick word for the outgoing SAB team. Their year has been like no other year. I've never known a SAB team that's come in and adapted themselves to supporting and engaging with students online, but really working with the university and holding them to account, trying to make sure that all our students get something like value for money. I know that's been a really tough target, but the SAB team have adapted to the situation. And I'm not just talking about the full-time SABs. I want to say that to the all part-time SABs as well. The democracy side of our year this year has been probably one of the best ones online in terms of student engagement and student contribution. So good luck to the outgoing. I know there's one particular SAB might be running again, but I just want to say a big thank you to you in probably the most unusual sabbatical year that's ever been. So good luck to everybody, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. That was a touching speech there. But I'm sure you all shed a tear just like I did, because I'm one of those, I'll be leaving this year. But I just want to say that I've had a great time here working with Andy, Dan, and the rest of the team, and my sabbatical team as well. Like Andy said, it has been an unusual year, but we've tried to make the most of this, the circumstances that we were in. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of the elections and what else is going to take place, and then we can crack on with announcing the election results. So as I'm going to start off with the 9 sort of part-time officer roles, and in between I'm going to also announce and Connor's going to be helping me out with this. We're going to be announcing the prizes that we gave out on Instagram. So the people that actually voted, we put them into a prize draw. So Connor's going to come in between to keep you all engaged and make sure that you guys as viewers on Instagram and on other social platforms are able to see if you won any sort of prizes for this. So are you all ready for me to start? So I'm going to start off with for the first one, which is the Environment and Ethics Officer. So this is just one position. There was one seat available for this, and we also had one candidate, one nomination that came through for this position. So the total number of votes for this position were 1,255. Reopen nominations received 102 votes. So the winner of the Environments and Ethics Officer with votes of 1,153 is Syed Muhammad Shah. So Syed Muhammad Shah was the winner of Environment and Ethics Officer. So he'll be working with the new sub team in the future. Moving on to the next, the second officer was Officer for Students with Disabilities. Again, we had one seat available for this position, and we also had one candidate that put their nomination in for this position. The total number of votes for this position came to 1,206. The open nomination received 119 votes. So the candidate for Officer for Students with Disabilities is Razan Madani with votes of 1,087. So congratulations, Razan Madani. Moving on to Inclusion Officer, I would just want to keep this short because I know it's Friday evening now, and I'm sure you guys would rather be somewhere else than be with me here. So I'm just going to scroll through these, and when we get to the main sort of sub-officers, I'll just take a bit more time on that. So the third one was Inclusion Officer. Again, this was just one seat for this role, and we also had one nomination. And the total number of votes that came in for this role was 1,228. Reopen nominations got 151 votes. So the winner for this was Katie Chavan with 1,077 votes. So congratulations, Katie. Moving on to the next one was Women's Officer. Again, just like the previous roles, just one seat for this position and just one nomination that came through. And the total number of votes that were cast in the election for this role was 1,265. Reopen nomination received 57 of them, and Elspeth Jackson received a number of 1,208 votes. So congratulations to Elspeth, who is the new Women's Officer. The next one is NUS Delegate. So this role was open only to women. And again, just one seat for this role and one nomination that came through. And the total number of votes for this role were 1,262. The open nomination received 105, and the winner for this position was Razan Madani with 1,157. So once again, congratulations to Razan. The next candidate for this was the BME officer, which was one seat to one position available for a person to be voted in that. However, we received two nominations for this role. So the total number of votes that came in for this role was 1,268. Reopen nomination came in with 53 votes. The candidate that missed out on this role had 549 votes, and that was Chukwemeka. So the winner for BME officer is Momo Suleiman with 666 votes. So congratulations, Momo Suleiman, who is the BME officer. The next one for this part-time officer role was the international students officer. And again, just one seat to fill in. We had three nominations come in for this one position. The total number of votes that got cast in the election were 1,245. In this stage, so because we had more than two candidates for this role, the voting system is a bit different. So you have two stages. The stage one of the votes, Ajay Suraj. So we had three. I'll go through the people that nominated themselves. The first one was Ajay Suraj, then Hamza Khan, and TK Agama. So in stage one of the votes, we had Ajay Suraj, who received 213 votes. Hamza Khan received 415 votes, and TK received 573. So because we can only take two candidates to the next stage, that means the one candidate had to be eliminated from this stage, and that was Ajay Suraj because he received the least amount of votes. So at the elimination stage, Hamza Khan received 44 votes. So the people that put Hamza Khan down as their second choice, 44 people did that. So he gets them 44 votes. So his vote count results in a total of 459 votes. And TK Agama gained 42 votes as a result of this. So his total came to 615. So the winner for International Students Officer was TK Agama with 615 votes. So we're going to do the prizes at the end. So I'm just going to move on to the next position, which was the chair of council. So for this position, again, is just one seat available for someone to fill in. And we also had one nomination. So the total number of votes that were cast for the chair of council were 1,324. So reopen nomination received 93 votes. So our chair of council for next year is Fez Ilyas with 1,230. The next one is a bit of a tricky one, so it's going to take me a bit of time to get through. So council lay members, we normally, there's 4 seats available for the council lay members. So these are the students that actually sit on council and that are representing the student body along with the subs and the part-time officers. The nominations that came through for this roles were 4. We had 1,311 votes cast in for this, and it was a spoiled ballot, just like I explained earlier for the international officer. This is something similar. So the candidates we had for this position was Momo Suleiman, Cloverly Allen, Razan Madani, and Katie Siobhan. But because Katie, Razan, and Momo got elected in their part-time sub-officer position, that means that only Cloverly Allen is the successfully elected council lay member, because the other 3, as I explained, have already been elected in their respective roles as part-time officers. Now that means we've got 3 positions available for students to actually fill in. Sorry, 8 positions additionally available for students to fill in. So the election, for election for the council lay members open up. Candidates can start submitting manifestos in the summer, and they'll be elected in the next round, which is in October. So if any students actually want to be part of council, make decisions on behalf of the students and support students further, they can submit the nominations in submit the nominations in the summer, and they'll be elected in hopefully in October. Before we do that, I'm going to hand over to Connor. He's going to be announcing the prizes.
As you know, we've done a number of competitions recently, so I'm going to announce the £10 Amazon gift voucher all the way up to the Fire Stick. So what I've done here is that I've got a automatic number generator. All your names are linked to a specific number. The first winner for the £10 Amazon voucher is Tamara Agama. So if you are here listening, contact us. For the £20 voucher, we've got Regors Bratus. For the £30 Amazon voucher, we've got, that goes to number 17, Ruman Masood. If that sounds like you, congratulations. I think everyone can see me on the stream now, eventually, so thanks for that. And then for the Amazon Fire Stick, that goes to 391. 391 links to Brandon. That's the only name I've been given. The person getting an Echo Dot is 481. 481 is Adil Ahmed. Well done, you have got yourself an Echo Dot. The next one is a printer, HP DeskJet, which is 489. Meha Shafiq. Well done, Meha Shafiq. You've got yourself a printer for your halls of residence, for your flat, wherever you live. Prize number 7 is a Fitbit Inspire 2 health and fitness tracker. That's 217. Dami, you have won yourself a Fitbit. I expect to see you running around Bradford when you collect this. And a Fujifilm instant camera, which means that when you take the picture it automatically prints. 146. Molly Ely, congratulations, you've won a Fujifilm instant camera. Zayn is going to continue with the rest of the results, and I'll announce the Wi-Fi projector, Nintendo Switch, AirPods, electric scooter, GoPro and Apple iPad at the very end. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Connor. So as Connor said, we've got 6 more prizes left, and there's some big prizes there. After I had my eye on the electric scooter, but one of one of you guys from the Insta Live, people that voted, are going to be getting that prize. So I'm going to move on to the main sabbatical officer positions now. I know you all have been waiting for this. So I'll start off with the student affairs officer. So we had one seat for this to fill again. We only had one nomination for this role. The total number of votes that came in for this were 1,424. The open nomination received 105. So the winner for this and your student affairs officer is Inshal Ahmed with 1,319 votes. Inshal, I'm going to ask you to give your speech after, or would you like to give your speech now? It's entirely up to you. But since you're ready, I think you should give your speech now. You have 1 minute.
Thank you, Zen. Thank you, Zen. Don't make it sound like one of those council meetings where you give me 1 minute. But anyways, if I ever be able to wipe the smile out of my face, I'd like to thank all of you who believed in me. 1,400 and something is the figure that Zan mentioned. This is absolutely overwhelming. And I honestly believe that students who've voted for me and who've not voted for me, I'll make sure that next year I come strong. We'll make this union a better place where we can get a more enhanced student experience and everyone can have a part and say in whatever I do next year. Zen, I'm really happy. I can't find my words, so I'm going to turn my camera off and shut up and let you do the thing.
I think that's the right thing. And just to clarify, you got 1,319, so stop exaggerating your votes. You didn't get more than me. You've only got 1,000.
You're just jealous that I got more than you. Sorry.
Your 1 minute is up, so I'm going to move on now. So the next position that we have is the education officer. Again, just one seat for this role. We had 2 nominations, and the total number of votes cast for this were 1,440. A reopen nomination received 61. The candidate that came second received 582 votes, and that candidate was Abdullah Zubair. So the winner of this year's education officer role with 797 votes is Abdul Rauf Abdul Salam. Congratulations, Abdul. You are the education officer for another year. Moving on to community and activities officer role. The total nominations that came for this role were 4, and the total number of votes that were cast in the elections for this role was 1,475. And just like I mentioned previously, because 4 nominations came through for this role, there had to be stage 1, the elimination stage 1, and then elimination stage 2, and then the winner. So I'm going to explain as I go along how that worked out. So in stage 1 of the vote, sorry, Mohammed Habib received 151 votes. Alina Kaha received 387 votes. Kiran Begum received 413 votes, and Ahmed Malik received 501 votes. So as process of elimination, Mohammed Habib was eliminated at stage 1 because he received the least amount of votes. So moving on to the elimination stage 1 now. So Mohammed Habib's vote get cast in again, and they get used for the other 3 candidates remaining. So after that elimination stage 1 was completed, Alina Kaha received 15 votes, so resulting in her total of 402. Kiran Begum gained 18, and her total was 431, and Ahmed Malik gained 12 votes, and his total became 513. So at this stage, Alina Kaha was eliminated. So in the final stage, Kiran Begum received 64, which meant her total was 495, and Ahmed Malik received 29, which means his total went to 442 votes. So the winner for Community and Activities Officer was Ahmed Malik with 542 votes. So congratulations, Ahmed. You are the Community and Activities Officer for 2021-2022. And I completely forgot, apologies, that Abdul was supposed to give a speech, but I'm going to come back to Abdul Ahmed after I do the sports and well-being role. So just bear with me for a second. So the next position was the sports and well-being officer. So 4 candidates for this role who wanted to replace me as the sports and well-being officer. Unfortunately, I was unable to stand because I've already finished my 2 years. So the 4 candidates we had for this role was Hamza Khan, Jonah Schmidt, Callum Gorton, and Safwat Shazad. Again, because we had 4 candidates, I have to go through the whole process of elimination and stuff. So Hamza Khan received 197, Jonah received 289, Callum received 412, and Safwat Shazad received 499. So at this stage, because Hamza Khan received the least amount of votes, he was eliminated. At stage 1, Jonah received 10 votes, so his total became 299. Callum received 18, his total became 430. And Shazad received 37, resulting in a total of 536 votes. So Jonah was eliminated in this stage. At stage 2, which was the final round, Callum received 53 votes, and his tally became 483, and Safwat Shazad received 24 votes. So the winner for the Sports and Wellbeing Officer is Safwat Shazad with 560 votes. Congratulations, Safwat. You've now gone and replaced me as the Sports and Wellbeing Officer. So congratulations to you, Safwat. So that's the candidates done for all positions. I'm just going to go back to Abdul Rauf to give his speech for being the education officer for winning the election. So Abdul, if you could just come on to camera, turn your camera on, please, and give your speech.
Thank you. Hold on. Let me put my camera on. I don't want to because I was just jumping up and down and my hair's everywhere, but oh my days. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that supported me. I just wanted to tell Abdullah, thank you so much, for running. You were a worthy opponent. You did very well, and I'm very proud of you. And thank you so much to everyone that supported me. I really appreciate you. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was just jumping up and down. Whew! That was very stressful. This online stuff ain't it. I'm telling you. I like you, and you don't see what's happening, and your imagination goes wild. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. And next year, hopefully, we'll have the best year ever. So yeah, thank you everyone. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Abdul. Thanks for that. Ahmed, as the Community and Activities Officer.
Lost for words. I'm absolutely lost for words. Thank you everyone who voted for me. I am just lost for words. Thank you for your support, for believing in me, and I want to say I will work to the best of my ability. You've put your trust in me, and I will work to the best of my ability. I definitely want to say to Elena, Kieran, and Habib that it's been an honor doing this with you, and that I'm sure anything you do from here on in, you will be very successful, and I wish you the best of luck, all 3 of you. Thank you very much, and thanks everyone who voted for me. I'm just lost for words right now. My heart's pounding out of my chest. Thank you.
Thanks, Ahmed. And for the Sports and Wellbeing Officer winner, Safwat Shazad, if you could come on and give your 1-minute speech as well, please.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I want to thank everyone. Callum and Jonah, best of luck with whatever you guys do. I'm actually lost of words here. But thank you to the union for providing this opportunity for us. It was a different experience for all of us. I'll try my best to make sure that I work as hard as I can for the students and make their experience best as possible. And that's it, really. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. So once again, well done to all the candidates that won the election. So we're going to move on to the prizes that are remaining. 6 prizes left now. Connor, if you could come back on and give them prizes out, please.
Yep, that's fine. So I'm going to put the counter back on the screen. You should be able to see that on Instagram. So the next prize is the Wi-Fi projector, which is more interesting than it sounds, I promise. We have got Sarah Hammerway. Congratulations. Nintendo Switch, which is the main prize that we've got up for grabs. This is during the candidates fair. Your Mahmood Hussein. For the voting day prizes, we have got a lot of names in a very big spreadsheet. Each vote that you tallied up to, yeah, basically it's a big number. Mohammed Hussein, congratulations, you got this. You got the AirPods. The electric scooter, which is what everyone's been asking about. Sachita Goel, congratulations, you have got yourself an electric scooter. It's very fun. Zane and I tried it. We've wiped it down and put it back in the box properly, so don't worry about that. The GoPro Hero Silver, 2 more prizes. GoPro Hero Silver. Aspin Adams, congratulations, you got yourself a GoPro Hero. And last but not least, we've got the Apple iPad. 2, 8, 4, 6. Congratulations to Benjamin Fadil, you have got yourself a shiny new iPod. And I'll bring you back to Zane, who will close this off. If you're worried about, if you thought you heard your name and you're not sure, just send us an email and we'll confirm it for you. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Connor. So, so the candidates that unfortunately missed out on winning the election, the support available. We've got Adam Tasker on the call, Kieran, Dan, the staff members. So if anyone needs any support, then you can actually pop in and chat to them as well. And as Kieran just put in for the candidates, that if you weren't elected in for a specific role, there are lay member spaces available. So which gives you full voting power as the members of council. And you can benefit from the training and support provided. So we'd love to hear from you and get you involved in that. So I'm just gonna move on to the closing speech that I've been asked to do. So as students, this has been a funny year and a year in COVID. It's been some tough circumstances the students you all have to deal with. And from all of us from the Students' Union, we thank you from the bottom of our heart for actually coming out and voting and taking part in this, and just being, working as hard as you all have been through this pandemic. And I also want to thank the election committee for setting up the online election at such short notice, and obviously for working hard to make sure that the voting system was fair. And for obviously giving opportunity to the candidates to stand up. I also want to thank the candidates and their campaigners and students as well for voting, for putting all the hard work in to make sure that this election was a success. And just moving on to the speech that I've been asked to give as the sub-officer who's leaving. So I'm not just talking on behalf of myself, but also Samara, who gave me the permission. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today. So from myself and Samara as the sub-officers, we've been sub-officers for 2 years now, and we'll be leaving this role. And I just want to thank everyone at the union, Andy, Dan, Kieran, Adam, the finance team, Gemma, Michael, and the rest of the team that I might have missed out, and obviously my sub team for working with me, and obviously for putting up with me for 2 years, Mari as well. And for me, for myself and Samara, it's been a funny year. We started off when we came in 2019. We had a really good start to the year. We had a lot of events, and then unfortunately March was when lockdown kicked in, and so we had to, our year sort of, our sub position kind of moved from me looking after the sports and the student well-being to just cancelling a lot of the sports sort of fixtures that we had. Varsity was cancelled, colours ball was cancelled, so we had to switch away from that and look after students well-being and student education as a whole sub team. So last year we did a lot of we brought in as a sub team, we brought in the no detriment policy, the extension which was given, and we also challenged the university on things that we wanted to bring in to support the students. We've also had meetings with the local council to see how they could support in terms of students that were staying in their accommodation and whether any rent reduction was supposed to be given. So that's still carrying on into this year as well. myself and the sub team, we were given food parcels out, food deliveries to the students' accommodation. So it was some really fun times. Even though the pandemic kicked in, it kind of opened us a whole new sort of the role onto us, that it's not just about looking after your specific sort of teams, like for example the sports clubs I was doing, but I was also kind of not forced into, but in terms of the circumstances were such that I started to concentrate a lot more on just this whole student population. So that was really good. I had some really interesting chats with a lot of the students. And it just kind of, it tells you that this role is not just about, going there representing students. You're doing a lot more in every day. And I would say to my sub team that every day you come in and there's something new for you. And that's a message I want to pass on to the upcoming sub team, that in this role, every day is different. You're always doing something completely different. One day you're playing badminton with Andy, the next day you're going on bike rides and hikes with Michael and Adam, and another day you're just having a casual chat with Dan in the office. So it's really, it opens up a whole sort of the role is opened up on you so much that you're just constantly doing something in the office. You're constantly helping the students. You go in and chatting to the students, see what sort of help they need, and then you also live in your own sub team life with your own sub team. So I just want to give some sort of advice to the incoming sub officers. I'm sure you all want to hear from me and my experiences, but I just want to give a bit of advice to them, that when you come into this role, just be yourself. I mean, you guys have won this election by being yourself, so I think just carry on with that and you'll excel in this role, just like myself, Samara, previously Ayman and Inshal and Abdul did. And just follow my example, especially for the sports officer software. We had some really good relationship with the sports team, so I think I'd encourage you, speaking from a sports officer perspective, to continue that good relationship with all the sports team. They're really good bunch, and they'd all give you enough support in your role. So just keep in good contact with them, support them wherever you can, and hopefully you'll get varsity and other fixtures would open up in September, and you'll be able to do a lot of the things that unfortunately I couldn't do in this role because of COVID. But I'm staying optimistic, and hopefully we'll get something throughout the next 3-4 months that I've got left. And just something about the office, you've got Andy, who's constantly going to be supporting you. You've got the likes of Dan, Adam, Kieran, all the people I mentioned earlier, like Michael, Gemma, the finance team, Maria. They're there to support you as the sub officer. So use them, use their experiences, and use all the support that they're going to give you. And just, I mean, there's a lot of office shenanigans that you can be part of too. But just don't get onto the wrong side of finance, because you'll see you'll see from Heather and from Carmel that. So just stay on the good side of Carmel and Heather, and you'll be fine. And I mean, I've enjoyed my time here, and I'm sure Samara did too. We had some really good times. We've got a really good relationship with everyone in the universities, with Shirley and Nikki, Zahia, and all the senior management team. And I think it's just the senior management team have worked really well with us. They've supported us throughout. Anything that we had concerns about, they've directly sorted them concerns out for us. So that's one thing that I'd encourage, to have a really good relationship with the senior management team. They're there to help us, and just use that. As soon as you go in, you're gonna start having meetings with them over the summer. So just in them meetings, just be yourself in the meeting too. You don't have to change in this role. You just be yourself, and they'll listen to all your concerns, speak to the students, and then that first-hand experience you're getting from speaking to the students, you can relay that back to the senior management team. And anything you need support with, if you feel like you're concerned about summer, Andy is there, and the rest of this union team is there to listen to you, to support you. And as well as the senior management team, just keep that close relationship with us, and I'm sure you'll be fine in this role. And inshallah, just asking if I'm gonna cry. I'm trying not to cry, but I'll be around. Hopefully, you guys will call me back as the sub officers. Hopefully next year. I really do want to be part of varsity next year. So if the sports officer or the sports teams can actually call me back, I'd be more than happy to come back in and participate in varsity, and just help out wherever I can. So thank you very much. That's the end. And if there's anything else that anyone else want to say, Connor, have you got anything to add, or could we call it there. Okay. Andy, any closing comments from you?
Yeah, just congratulations to everybody, and hard luck to the people who didn't make it in. But please don't give up. You know, your turn will come if you put yourself forward for this. You know, keep doing it, keep pushing, and it'll happen for you. But thanks, Zane. Great speech, and thanks again to everyone who took part in this year's elections.
Thanks, Andy, and thanks, Fez, and the people that saying them kind words in the comments. So we'll call it there. That was the elections, and that was the prizes, and that was my emotional closing speech. So thank you all for attending today, and we look forward to seeing you in some capacity on campus in the next few weeks. Thank you very much.